Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here at the 36th Annual Epstein Becker and Green Workforce Management Briefing with our guest, Marc Freedman. Hi, Marc. How are you doing?
I'm very well. How are you?
Great, great. So how has the budget influenced labor policy?
Well, the budget and the appropriations process is a way for establishing priorities and, in some cases, policy issues through an appropriations process. And so what we've seen here is the new administration setting a different priority in the case of the Department of Labor in particular. They're shifting resources from a very enforcement-centric approach to one that focuses more on compliance assistance and helping employers do the right thing. And so I think that's a big part of the discussion. The other thing is a couple of things that the administration had wanted to see happen have been taken out of the budget process. So one of the ones in particular was a merger between the EEOC and the Office of Federal Contract Compliance Programs under the DOL. OFCCP deals with affirmative action requirements for federal contractors. EEOC deals with private sector employers and specifically the requirements under Title VII of the Civil Rights Act. On the surface, it looks like there's an overlap there, but really the two agencies have different missions, and we've just seen how that money that was in the budget to make that merger happen has been taken out. So, it isn't everything that the Trump administration wants. There's definitely been some pushback along the way. We're waiting for some of that personnel to be put in place, and I think that's really a key discussion point, because absent some of those key people in the Department of Labor, a lot of things aren't going to be able to move. You need the key political appointees to really move that process forward. So that's taking longer than we would have hoped. Part of it administration, part of it Congress in terms of how those things happen. A shift, I think, in the terms of the Department of Labor from being very dismissive about concerns from the employer community to being at least interested in hearing them. And I'm not going to say they're just going to roll over and do everything we want. I wouldn't expect that. But I think they're going to listen and they're going to take the concerns we raise seriously and recognize that these are questions that need to be resolved for anything to really work properly.
What actions have the labor agencies been able to undertake under the new administration?
In the case of the DOL, we've seen some actions from the new Secretary Acosta. They removed some of the interpretations that we didn't favor, and those can be struck by stroke of a pen. So that's impressive to see that happen. It's sort of low-hanging fruit. We're seeing a rulemaking underway in the overtime area. That's a big deal because that would replace the Obama administration overtime threshold, so that's a big deal. In the NLRB and the EEOC realms, we're still waiting for new appointees to get to be confirmed so that you can have a majority, Republican majority in those boards. In the NLRB context, of course, we heard from the chairman this morning, and he described a series of rulings in which he was in the minority and couldn't push that point across. So we're waiting. There's two nominees that are in process. One just got confirmed and sworn in. There's a second nominee who's going to be confirmed shortly. That will give a 3-2 Republican majority. And once you have that, you can start to reverse some of those decisions and some of the actions of the previous NLRB. Same thing with the EEOC. We're still waiting for the nominees there to be confirmed, who would then create a 3-2 majority in the EEOC. So a lot of what we hope will happen needs those people in place to make it happen.